I'm ChezPride, and today I am finally putting out a series that I have wanted to start for months, and that is my Sims 4 Life and Death Let's Play that I am calling The Sims 4 The Grim Sim. I'm not about to go into the whole story about my game corrupting or my mental health again, but basically, long story short, my game files did get messed up around the time The Sims 4 Life and Death came out, and ever since then, I have been struggling to get my channel in order. More so with how much new content has been coming out for The Sims 4, a lot of my life and death content ended up getting put on the back burner, sadly. But I have finally finished all my reviews and my gameplay reviews for Life and Death and kind of got all my series back in order. So now I wanted to at least attempt to get this series started before The Sims 4 Business and Hobbies comes out. Because when that comes out, most of my focus is going to shift to that for a couple of weeks. But I really wanted to play with the Grim Reaper career, and honestly, so far, this pack is one of my favorites out of all the Sims 4 packs that we've gotten. I haven't even touched the Grim Reaper career yet. Plus, I kind of have a challenge type series that I want to eventually do as a sequel to the story with the characters I have for this series. I know, I may be getting a little bit ahead of myself, but I have a whole plan and I'm excited for it. But like I said, in this series I'm calling The Sims 4 The Grim Sim, I want to get all the way through the Grim Reaper career as my main goal. But I also have other plans too. With my other character that I'm not doing the Grim career with, I'm going to have them in the Undertaker career, and more importantly, I want her to complete the new Ghost Historian aspiration. And then with the Grim Turn Sim I'm playing with, I would also like him to complete his soul's journey and get reborn after reaching level 10 of the Grim Reaper career. And honestly, I also think it would be fun to have a Grimborn baby. I'm just saying. So lots of plans, but I think this is going to be fun and right up my alley. So this video is going to be all about introductions. I want to introduce the characters in our main house. I want to kind of set up the timeline and the story we're playing out, and then do a tour of the small castle I built for us to live in. Then, soon after I post this video, I will post the first official gameplay episode. So let's go ahead and meet our family. So the family we are going to be playing with this series is the Fane family, and it consists of a brother and a sister and their horse. So basically, we are set back in kind of a modern medieval time. We are living in Morningvale of Ravenwood in a castle that was kind of given to us because our parents died. Now, our parents were originally, they weren't like king and queen, but they were in the royal family. So they were well off, they kind of had their own thing going. But then their daughter, the youngest of the family, was born a spellcaster. And of course, it's medieval times, so that was not accepted. So they hid that most of their life, and she always had her brother Frankie to kind of watch out for her. But then her secret got out. She ended up exposing herself because she thought she fell in love with someone that she could trust. And he ended up breaking her heart, making her completely an unflirty sim, and he exposed her. And when they got exposed, her family was killed. Basically, she was also supposed to be killed, but when they came to her house to burn her house down and to burn her family, she was not there. So she was the only one that survived. Now, with her being a spellcaster and a genius, and her family was kind of very scientific, she was able to use her magic to bring her brother back. So with the mixture of science and magic, we brought back Frankie. And as you can kind of see with the name Frankie and, the look of him, You can kind of get the reference I'm getting towards. But yeah, this is Frankie, our brother. Unfortunately, we weren't able to bring back our parents, but we were actually able to do something better for them and help them move on. But Frankie here did not want to move on. He did not want to be dead. He wanted to be brought back. So him as a ghost and his sister here as a spellcaster, and them both being geniuses, combined their forces and brought back his body and put his soul back into his body. But he didn't exactly come out perfect. As you can tell, he's definitely not the man he quite used to be. So, my idea here is he's going to join the Grim Reaper career. And at the top of the Grim Reaper career, and once he completes his soul's journey, he is going to be able to be reborn. And he'll be kind of reborn into, like the more handsome, alive, not freaky looking dude. And then hopefully when he's reborn, my idea is that he'll go back to Grim and woo him and like get his job back as level 10 of being a Grim Reaper, and that kind of set up for the next series I have planned. So that is kind of the storyline we are going with here. So let me do a proper introduction to the Sims. So like I mentioned earlier, this Sim here is kind of going to be the main Sim we're playing with. We're going to do the Grim Reaper career with him. I want him to be reborn, possibly get involved romantically with the Grim Reaper himself. So this is the Sim that we just brought back to life. Like literally when we go into the gameplay episode, we are going to be picking up on him just being brought back to life. So this is Frankie, and like I said, obvious references here with the scars and the messed up teeth and the whole eye makeup type situation. But he, believe it or not, is just a normal Sim. I guess he would be kind of like a zombie Sim, but alive, like a live zombie Sim. I don't know. But he's not a spellcaster like his sister. He's just kind of slightly on the undead side. So, he wants to be a Renaissance Sim. He's always been very smart, very knowledgeable. He's always been the type to have a bunch of different traits. And he is macabre, he is gloomy, and both him and his sister are geniuses. So they both have the genius trait. They also both have a bunch of preferences that I'm not going to go through them all. But I will say his main things are kind of Thanatology and just kind of smart, knowledgeable stuff like sciences and whatnot. He's kind of into music, and he's a bit more into the romance part of life than his sister is after she got her heart broken. But that's kind of his personality. He very much likes black and gray. Like that's kind of his whole thing is black and gray. So this is his everyday wear. We have his formal wear. You can kind of see some of his clothes are still a bit torn. I kind of picture like this is perhaps maybe what he was buried in after he was burned. And then we have his athletic wear. Their athletic wears are kind of weird, but again, we're kind of set back in modern medieval times. So their outfits are not my normal way I dress Sims, but I really enjoy making these Sims. So this is his sleepwear. He kind of just has this robe moment going on. We have his party wear. We have his swimwear. I thought this was very appropriate for the times we are in. We have his hot weather wear, and then his cold weather wear is the same as his everyday. So that is our main Sim. We're going to be doing the Grim Reaper career with Frankie. But then we have his witch sister, the spellcaster sister, that brought him and her horse back to life. So this is Fei. And like I said, she's a spellcaster. She does have the ghost historian aspiration, like I said. That's going to be like the main thing we do with her is I want to get her through the ghost historian aspiration. But she is also going to be in the Undertaker career. I don't know if we'll go all the way through the Undertaker career. That's not kind of my main goal with this series. It's just that was the other career that came with this pack, so I wanted to include it. But personality-wise, she is proper, she's a bookworm, and she's a genius. Like I said, preferences-wise, she's not really into the whole romance thing. She's kind of asexual at this point. All the romance styles kind of turn her off. But she is kind of, like I said, she is a genius. So she is also into the sciences, but she's also like into magic and nature. And she likes gardening and cooking, and of course also thanatology, and she is kind of into singing. Her brother's a little bit more into instruments in general, and she's into singing. You know, they just kind of have their differences a little bit. She likes cross stitch and stuff like that, but her colors are mainly like black, gray, and blue. So that's kind of the vibe we went with for her. So this is her up close. I think she is gorgeous. I absolutely think she is stunning. She has the same hair as like Olive Spectre, but I thought it was so cute. We have this like little Renaissance dress with the corset for her everyday wear. This is her formal wear. We have her athletic wear, which again is kind of weird, but again, medieval times. For her sleepwear, we kind of have a non-traditional sleepwear, but I thought it was appropriate. We have her party wear, which I thought was really cute. We have her swimwear, which I'm obsessed with. Her hot weather wear is the same as her everyday. And then we have her cold weather wear. So that's our sister. And then they are also both into horseback riding because of the way they were brought up in a family of royals. But she is the main one that is into horseback riding. So when her horse was burnt down, not only did she bring her brother back, she brought her horse back. So this is Jack Skellyfang. Jack Skellyfang. And that's the whole reason I went with the last name Fang. But this is him. He's supposed to be like a skeleton horse, but this is the closest I could get to an actual skeleton horse. So he is brave, he is a free spirit, and he is intelligent. So that is kind of the whole story and the character list we have for this family. So right quick, before I end this video, I am going to go ahead and give y'all a tour of the little Gothic castle I built for them to live in. Alright, so this is the castle that I built for our Sims to live in, and honestly, I'm obsessed with it. I think it turned out so good. I may have spent like way too much time on it, honestly, but I think it was worth it. So we are in Morningvale in Ravenwood, right near the Bayful Bog, which I think will probably definitely come in handy in this series. But kind of the idea behind this tower or castle is kind of like a mix between a witch's tower and a castle. Because basically, like I said, they were from a family of royals. So, like, their dad was from the main royal family. Not like the prince, but he was very directly tied to it. Her mom was from a richer family, but not exactly royal. But what the dad's family didn't know when the mom married into that family is that her sister was a witch, which is where our Sim gets her spellcaster powers from. So, when she was exposed to being a witch, it was also found out that her mom's dead sister was a witch. So, when they burned her family and our Sim Faye here was the only one to survive, the remaining family of her dad's family casted her out and sent her to her dead spellcaster's aunt's home. So this is where her aunt or her mom's sister used to live. She's buried over here in the graveyard along with the parents. I don't know. It was kind of a fun story for me to put together. Basically, how I have it set up is there's two wings of the castle. even though it's a small castle, there's 2 wings or 2 towers. So the brother has the tower, the sister has the tower, and they each kind of have their own side of the castle, and then they have living spaces. And then, of course, there's a greenhouse over here and a whole area for the horse. So let's go ahead and actually look at the castle now. So like I said, obviously a very dark Gothic castle. I was very much going for medieval times, so there's like no electronics, there's no TVs or anything. The only, quote, electronics we have is a computer typewriter, and that's literally because I needed it for her aspiration. But if we come up on the property, it's technically on a diagonal, so the front of the lot is this on the gallery, which looks nice and all, but this is technically the front of the castle. And we have this whole balcony area here. I kind of always love the idea of balconies on the front of castles because I am obsessed with the movie Princess Bride. And like during her dream when she's getting introduced, the castle kind of has him standing up on this platform above the main entrance. I don't know. I've always been obsessed with it. And it also has this like walking tower bridge behind here that kind of was inspired from Hogwarts. Not gonna lie, it was very much inspired from Hogwarts, but they can technically walk from here to here. They just, it's not that usable. It's more for decoration. But if we go, if you go this way, there is a side entrance to the castle over here. But this is how you get to the horses area, as well as the mailbox and trash can. So there's a mailbox and trash can right here. There's a sitting area beside it. And then you go this way, and you can come through the little barn area that has a horse bed and a horse feeding stall into like the horse training area. So this is the back of the castle. And honestly, I think it looks so good with like the gargoyles and whatnot in the tower. But it has a little horse racing section. The horse has some water here. Very overgrown with ivy. If you go here, we actually have a secret back entrance to the castle if you were to come in this way. And it also has a secret entrance to a basement that's like a library, like a hidden library. So I will show the hidden library off last. But if you go around this way, we have this little shed here. And I have a woodworking table in here in case we need the handiness skill. Plus, I thought it kind of made sense for Frankie's character in there to be a woodworking table. We have an old looking grill here in case we need it. If you follow this pathway, it kind of leads to like a little camp area with a little bonfire. And then over here is kind of how we get to the other side of the yard. So there's another back entrance that comes off right here that's right next to the greenhouse. So if you follow this path, you can either go into the greenhouse, which you can go through the greenhouse and go out this way, and it'll kind of lead you back to the main path to get to the front of the castle again. But if you weren't to go through the greenhouse, you could come over here to the graveyard. So we kind of have statues here representing the 2 sisters, the witch, and the one that married into the royal family. In my idea, this is like the aunts that was the witch that originally owned this house. This is like her grave. There's a little chess table out here. And then over here is like the parents that passed away's graves. So this is like the dad, and this is like the mom, and we have a little fairy statue and a ghost cow plant because I am obsessed with the ghost cow plants that came in this series or this pack. But then if you go out, this is how you get back to the front, obviously. And that is the whole outside. And then to get inside, if you don't want to use the side entrance, the main entrance is right here. So you walk in, there's a bunch of knights everywhere. I figured even though they're kind of casted out of the royal family, it made sense for there to still be bodyguards for them being royal blood. So we have the little entrance here, and you walk into a very slender hallway. And from here, you can either go into the brother's wing or the sister's wing. So I think I'm going to go into the brother's wing first. And in the middle of the castle, there's actually this hidden secret garden, because I am obsessed with the movie Secret Garden. And you can see like the sky through it and whatnot. And there's this whole little sitting area over here and a hidden swing set and a bunch of fairy lights and whatnot and more access to the sky. There is also another entrance to it over here from the dining room, but there's two entrances to it, one over here in the sister's wing and one over here in the brother's wing. And then this is how you get to the brother's wing. So if you were to go up these staircases, you would go to like the brother's bedroom and his tower. But if you come through here, this is how you get to the kitchen. So you can get to the kitchen here. They have a big counter space with bar seating. They are into nectar making. They don't have a nectar making objects, but they are into nectar making, so I thought they would have like a wine cellar moment. We have a refrigerator that I believe is the one that works off the grid, even though we're not technically playing off the grid. There's that. Oh, did I not put chairs here? Wait, did I seriously just not put chairs? Oh, well, I'll have to add chairs there because apparently I forgot to add dining chairs somehow. But then this is the exit that goes out to like the graveyard and whatnot, so you access that from the kitchen. If you go this way, there's a little hallway here that kind of leads to the back entrance. So this is the secret back entrance where the basement is, and if you go in here, there's like this little creepy Grim Reaper gnome that I'm pretending is like a guard or something. But if you go through this hallway, you go to the dining room. So this is the dining room. It has a big formal dining table. All the rooms have fireplaces in them because I was trying to go for like medieval times. We have a little single bar and just some plants over here. And this is the other entrance to the secret garden. And if you come over here, this is how you get to the sister's wing. So she has her own area up there. And this is the exit that goes out to like the horse area. So let's go through the sisters area first. So you come up this stairway. You have another area here, which also has balcony access to the front balcony to where you can look off into the front of the castle, like if you were making announcements or whatnot. And there's a bunch of research areas. So this is one of the research areas. It does have guards guarding it, but we have a telescope here and a little journal that they could take notes in and whatnot. They're very scientific, so all their stuff is very scientific themed. And then if you go over here, this is how you would get into her bedroom. So this is the sister's bedroom. We had the big fancy fireplace. We have a little cross-stitch area. Each one of the bedrooms also has a skeleton guard. And then we have a little getting ready area. A big pretty window. The nice glass stain bed. I got a little rug to match. I just thought it was so cute. It even has a little bookcase here. And then if you were to go this way, this is how you would get to her bathroom and her brother's room if you wanted to go that way. So this is her little bathroom. They basically have the same bathroom. It's just laid out a little bit differently for where the rooms are. And then this balcony here is what I'm considering the quote-unquote living room. Obviously, there's no electronics, so there's no TV or anything like that. But we do have a living room space that has a fireplace. I figured since I had a fireplace, it didn't really matter that it was outside. And it is completely covered. So it's basically an indoor-outdoor area. It has another bar. And we do have a gramophone here. I know that's technically electronic, but I figured with it being a Grim Reaper series, it was only appropriate, okay? And then if you were to go back into the sister's room before you go into the brother's area, you could go back here and go up to the tower, and this is kind of like her quote-unquote witch's tower. So you come here and you have access to the back roof area through here, which also has guards and telescopes on it and whatnot. But this is the witch's tower. It has her cauldron. It has her space for writing because she's in the ghost historian aspiration. We have this fireplace with crystals in it. We have this summoning table. She's into violin. So, she has a little violin. So this is kind of her tower. And then if we were to go over to the brother's tower, that's above his room or near his room, as you can see, is full of science equipment. So in my mind, this is where they brought him back to life. So like this was like his coffin. We have a little desk area for him over there, but this is like the science area that they used to bring him back to life, and like this is the table that his body was on. So that's kind of what I imagined for his tower, because he doesn't really have a use for like an office space like she does. So I thought this would be kind of a fun storyline. And then you can go down here and there's another little staircase area, kind of like the one on her side. If you go out here, he has the same access to the front area where you stand and make announcements in the front of the castle and whatnot. But he also has his own bedroom area. So this is his bedroom. It has a whole little getting ready area. It's not as nice as his sister's room, but still thought it was pretty. It's definitely more simple than his sister's room. And then this is his bed. It isn't as fancy as his sister's bed, but it has like the drapery from Love Struck, which I thought was nice. And he also has his own little fireplace area. We have some swords up on the wall. I just thought this was very nice. And then he also has access to this hallway where he has his own bathroom and also access to that living room balcony. So that's kind of the whole castle area. And then, like I said, there is a little secret library basement where they have like a study that is their little secret area. So this is the library. You come down here. We do have a typewriter down here. Over here we have a bunch of bookcases. If you were to go around here, there's this little hidden grate area where I imagine like maybe capture or maybe prisoners were put. We have a whole little study area over here. There's a bunch of like tables to do research at, but there's also like official desk. We have one for writing. We have one with the typewriter, and it also has a whiteboard for them to put notes up on. And with that is the entire castle we're going to be playing in. Like I said, it took me way too long to build this, but I think it turned out really good. I'm really proud of this castle. So the next time we return to this series, we will actually be starting the gameplay, and we will be getting them into the careers, starting her aspiration, just really getting a head start into this series. I am going to try to play around 2 to 3 days at a time in this series, kind of like I do with my Legacy series. So they probably will be a little bit of longer episodes, but I feel like y'all don't mind that as much as I thought y'all would when I started making longer videos. But anyway, guys, that's where I'm going to end this introduction video. I hope you are excited for this Let's Play like I am. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and all that awesome stuff, because you guys are awesome people. I'll see you next time. Alright,